Well, happy Monday, everybody. It happens to be the last Monday of January. How was month one for you? As you can tell from the background, I am not in New Hampshire right now. I am down in West Palm Beach and actually have my friend Talene here.
Hi,
She'll say
everyone.
hello. And we're going to be doing this Facebook Live together. So today we're going to be talking about what I've invested in my business through the years and even currently what I'm using. Don't forget to keep the volume down.
Okay, so I'm doing this.
Talene is just sharing it in a couple of my groups. Yeah, that one. No. And so I think it's really important to have this discussion because too many times we start out in our business and we think we have to do it all. I have to do everything. And then we start to play this like money game. And actually what it is a scarcity mindset. I can't go to that conference because I'm not making enough money. I will hire the coach when I sign on some clients. I will invest in that particular program or that app that's going to help me make my business easier as soon as I finish up this project with the new client. So there's lots of things that I have invested in, and some investments have been great, and some investments, they were okay. But one thing I can tell you is that I've learned something from everything. And there's one thing that I keep in mind that I've always remembered my father saying. My father loves to cook. My father also loves cookbooks and has a number of cookbooks. Now, like a hardcover cookbook really can cost you anywhere between like $25 to $30 and more. And my dad's perspective on a cookbook, he's like, if I can get one good recipe from that cookbook, then that means that it was worth its weight in gold. And I love that perspective. So some of the programs that I have invested in, that maybe they like it didn't get a ton of things, but what was the gold nugget? What was the key thing that I got from that and took away? Because that's the stuff that's like, okay, then it was worth it. It was absolutely worth it. So let me just include Talene here in my screen here and give us some hearts and some thumbs up if you can hear us. But most importantly, like give me some hearts if you have invested in your business. And yes, like I've invested in my business and I do it on a regular basis. What are some of those things that you invest in? I invest not just in education and accountability, but I also invest in other things, like things that help me run my business, things that process, team members. And then there are things that I invest in that actually help my business that you might not think, well, that doesn't have anything to do with your business. Okay, so let's kind of start there. Some of the things that I invest in that help me run my business that aren't necessarily in my business, things like a housekeeper. I have a woman who comes to my house twice a month, and she cleans and she does an amazing job from top to bottom. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to think about it. I have somebody who does landscaping, somebody who takes care of our lawn, as in like fertilizing. Between me and my husband, we like kind of take care of, the rest of the lawn, so to speak. We sort of like trade off that, although I let him do most of that. But like my housekeeper, like these people that are on your team, whether they're on my team for my business or they help support my business externally, you got to give them feedback. So whenever it's like, yeah, you didn't didn't clean that, or could you start doing this, as well, like if I wanted to do laundry, would you mind like adding on laundry to do this? Like she will add that on, and sometimes it's just about giving her feedback. And quite personally, she does an amazing job. So those are just a couple of people that are externals from my business that really do help support me And because of that support, it frees up my energy so that I can put more into my business, so I can put more into my clients. And it saves a whole lot of time so that I can do the things that I should be doing. What do you think?
I totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in your shoes, and I have found that having a housekeeper makes a significant difference, because if you are like we are and we work out of our home, sometimes we are entertaining our client in our home to meet with them, and you're not worrying about that it's untidy or unkempt and what are they going to think of you.
Mm-hmm.
You present yourself more as a professional when your home is upkept as well.
Perfect.
And allows you to just have that freedom of mind and space to be creative.
Absolutely. So let me share some of the things that I've invested, that not the applications that help me run my business, but some of the things that I've invested in to help get me to where I am. One, coaches. Yes, that's a common question that I get is, Laurie-Ann, do you have a coach? And yes, I have a coach. Yes, I participate and I invest in a mastermind. I have invested in conferences and programs and books and you name it, like lots of things through the years since I actually left my corporate job. And I would say like almost most of those, like not everything, had like the huge ROI, but most things did. And like the cookbook analogy, I usually walked away with one or two great things, especially when attending a conference. If I can walk away with one or two high value items that I can actually implement into my business, then I consider that to be a home run. Whether that's learning about a new skill, or just learning about like new industry trends, or even just like actually attended an improv workshop, and I attended that workshop for a couple of reasons. One, it was because it scared the hell out of me, and two, it was I like speaking. Even this is improv. Improv is really dealing with what you have been given. And I am actually in here's part of my improv. I'm in an area where the Wi-Fi isn't fabulous, but I wanted to make sure that I'm committed to being here Mondays at 5:00 for you, and so that's part of why I'm here. Some of the things that I invest in inside my business. So that's going to be like the next part that I want to share with you. But super curious, just share with me, what do you invest in? What are some of the items that maybe a favorite conference, or do you have team members? Do you have people that externally support you like I do with the house cleaners? What's one of your favorite conferences that you go to on a regular basis?
You know what? I actually always go to my brand that I support. I go to their conferences every year. We have one coming up in March called Career Conference. It fills my cup up. And you can find these conferences all over the country, and I don't miss it. And you say to yourself, oh, well, you go to the same conference every year. Well, are you going to hear the same thing every year? Mm-hmm. No. You're going to hear something different every year, and that's going to fill your cup up. You're going to be reinvigorated when you go to do the next big thing in your business.
So just to tap on like going to those conferences, especially because I know that there's a large audience here who follows me, who is, knows the high value of speaking as a great form of marketing. When you go to these conferences, find out who the meeting planner is. Go up to them and, say, hey, thanks. This, give them some feedback. Tell them I loved this. This was a great conference. Then you can start asking them, how long does it take you to plan this particular event? And that's when you can sort of just kind of great, have that conversation, start building that relationship. What sort of, speakers, what's your process for choosing speakers? And that's another great lead into, because if you as a speaker, then you could maybe you might be a great fit for that particular conference, or you might be able to recommend somebody. Because if you've gone to a number of conferences, you've probably seen other speakers. I know, like myself, like after I'm done speaking, I always offer my services to let meeting planners know, like, hey, like next year, I know speakers. So if you're looking for a recommendation, let me know what kind of person that you're looking for, or even the topics. What about yourself?
Well, I think if you are looking always to stay in your industry, as
Mm-hmm.
I have found I stay in my industry a lot, I do like to diversify because sometimes the location that you would go to the conference at makes a difference too, as to
Mm-hmm.
who's available and the message that you're hearing there as well. So I would say, how about adding travel to your investment in yourself?
Oh, I love that. That's a really good idea.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to take a second here just to say hello, Missy, and hello, Lucy. Thank you so much for joining. Let me know if you have any questions. And I'm kind of curious. Let me know, what are you investing in? So let's see. Lucy says she's invested going to conferences, buying books and coaching, etc. Fantastic. I also know that Lucy happens to be invested in herself inside In Demand. And thank you. I mean, I hope you're getting a lot out of that. So another thing that I invest in, and this is people who, like, some sort of payment service. If you're in business, you have got to have a way to take payments. And today's day and age, I mean, once upon a time, there was only PayPal. That was it. Or you had to mail a check to somebody. I remember when I was first starting out, in this coaching space, and yeah, people had to mail checks. Another way would be I had forms for people to fill out with their credit card information because I'm the one who had to like actually type it in. But like once upon a time, there was only PayPal to accept payments, and if you can't accept payments, I mean, how are people going to pay you so that you can stay in business? So I always find it funny when I ask people like, all right, how do you take payments? Oh, well, I don't. Well, why don't you? And it's, well, because, like the fees are so high, like 3 to 5%. And most credit card fees are about right around 3%. American Express is the only one that's probably a little bit higher. But still, like, that's just the cost of business. And that's how I look at it. It is just the cost of business. You accept credit cards, don't you?
I absolutely accept credit cards, and I
Mm-hmm.
have found that my sales are a lot higher on the spot because I'm able to take payment by credit card. People get actually very excited. Oh, you have a swiper? Oh my gosh, I can take care of this right now.
Right
Like,
here,
it's
right
very
now.
exciting to be able to give them the opportunity to pay quickly, comfortably, and they don't have a lot of time to make a decision to get out of what they were thinking was their benefit in the moment and overthink something. So it actually continues their commitment to their own benefit as well.
Yes, true. Let's see. Lucy says traveling is awesome. Missy also says that's a fabulous point. I attended a business conference in Dallas a few years ago, and it was a great experience, different from New Hampshire or Boston. Yes.
Perfect. Yes.
I've attended conferences like just all over the country. And Missy also says, yes, taking various forms of payments has helped to expand my business. Thank you for sharing that because it really does. And sometimes people just want to I just want to pay you right now. My private clients know that it's just an automatic thing. I want to take something off of my client's plate. So you don't have to worry about making that payment on the first of the month. It's all very smooth. I use two different apps for payments. It just depends on how somebody is coming to me. I use Moon Clerk, and I also use Acuity. One of the things that I'll just give you this point is that there's in both of them there's they have to have either read the contract or they have to acknowledge that yes, I've read that, yes, I agree to those terms, so that it just kind of makes it a little more legit, and that just makes me feel better that somebody you're agreeing to these terms before you hit the pay button. So that's another one. So definitely a payment source. The other app that I swear that I couldn't live without, that I love paying for, is a scheduling. app, and I personally use Acuity, and that really helps. Like, because if people want to get on the phone with you, they want to. You want to be able to make it super easy for people to book that appointment. None of this back and forth with emails and what time zone are you in, and are Mondays at 9 a.m. good for you, or like Wednesday nights. There's just like no more of that. It's here's the link to book that call, and you book it like whatever's convenient for you. I have open slots on my calendar to make it super easy for people to book those appointments. So how many of you are using some sort of a scheduling app so that people can book time with you so they can get on your calendar? I don't think you don't use one, right?
No, I have to tell you though, the more I watch your lives and the more I listen to the ease of using a scheduling app, actually, I just recently just did a brain dump into my notebook, and I thought to myself, talk about investing in yourself. I do believe that the investment I'm going to make in myself this year is to get a scheduling app, and I am guaranteeing that it's going to make my life a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. That being able to take money. Another one that I invest in is Google Drive. And yes, Google Drive has a fabulous free version. But once you're storing enough information in their cloud, they are going to start charging. And I'm at that point now where I just had a little too much, information in there. And that's just because I've been in business for a few years now in doing this. So, and the reason why I love Google Drive, and you can use like Google Drive because it's just so easy for anybody that's on my team to log into their Google Drive and we share information. They have this is a place where I store my information, or on Trello or Asana. These are a couple of other ways that I communicate with my team. But to be able to have all of my content, my emails, Facebook, like the show notes, like to this show. It's so easy to have it in Google Drive because I can do a search. So I could literally do a search for the word investment, and every document, everywhere that I use the word investment, it would just automatically come up. How is this helpful? This is great to help you repurpose your content. I want to start talking about investing in yourself, or about coaching or mastermind, that could come up, I could just easily abstract all of that information. And again, I house all of that inside of Google Drive, along with, there are a couple of other things that I use Asana and Trello for. I use Trello mostly for communicating and housing all of my information with my private clients. So those are a couple of the different ways that I invest both in myself, my clients, and my business. So let me just kind of peek over here, because I love this conversation about let's not be afraid to invest. Missy says I use Acuity as well, although I'm doing a website redesign, so I'm still working on what to use moving forward. And let's see, Missy also says she uses OneDrive. But yes, same here. It's just so much easier. Fantastic. But the whole point is that not to be afraid to invest in your business. Too many times I see both new entrepreneurs and also seasoned entrepreneurs make the mistake of, I'll invest when. Well, here's something that I want you to think about. Do you want your clients to wait until they get clients to invest in you? To wait till they have clients so that they could hire you to take photos, do their social media management, or redo their website, or to coach them, or to join, to join that mastermind? No, you don't. I mean, so to be able to take that step. So, did I wait to hire a coach until I had coaching clients? No, I didn't. I hired a coach. That was one of the first things that I did. I hired a coach before I had clients. And I didn't have clients for several months. I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. I didn't. I was learning this online platform. My next one was when I hired my first VA. I didn't. It was I hired her before I really needed her, and I tell all of my clients the exact same thing. And the reason why you don't want to wait to hire help is because then you get so busy, you won't have the time to train them. And that's when you're really just going to be behind the eight ball, and it's going to bring up a lot of uncomfortable feelings, and you're going to feel overwhelmed and frustrated that they're not getting it, but they just haven't been trained properly to do things the way you want. So I hired, my VA, Diane, before I was ready. I was really ready to, and I just kind of gave her here's a task. It's an easy task. And of course I could do it, but she could do it better. And by her taking that off my plate, it freed me up to do other things that I'm really good at and that I can't give to Diane, such as writing content, doing these Facebook Lives, coaching my clients, doing sales calls, all of those different things. Let's see. Lucy says she uses Google Drive too, and she's revamping her website to add a scheduling section to it. Fantastic. Lucy, let me know if you have any questions about Acuity. I'd be happy to answer. Missy said she would just hit it too soon. Early, and I invested at times without looking at what I really, really needed to get to the next level. So that's what I mean about being strategic. I agree. Knowing what you're missing, what that gap is, so that program, that app, that help can actually fill. So that, being very intentional about why you're doing something. I think that's key for any of our businesses, being very strategic and intentional about what you need to get out of this. And for me, with my time, having, both the apps so that things are very seamless, and by having team members, that just frees up time. You can make more money, but you can't buy more time. No, none of us can. So great. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Do you have any questions about investment?
No, I mean, I don't have clients that I'm coaching, but I have products that I'm selling. Mm-hmm. And sometimes when you are starting up in a business, you are thinking, okay, I'm going to order the product as needed. And let me tell you, you're actually going to spin your wheels. You're going to spend more time than ordering after the fact, having to go back to the person you've already seen once and serviced to get them the product that they need. And now you're actually going to need to you're going to lose money on that
you are,
opportunity.
Because if somebody needs something,
right,
they want it right then and there.
Exactly.
And if you didn't have it, I might just go to Sephora and just go buy something else instead.
Exactly. So, it's really important to, when you're establishing yourself as a professional person in your industry, whatever industry that might be in, whether you're dispensing products or whether you're giving a service, what are you holding as your inventory to be able to provide for your client immediately?
Good point. Mm-hmm. Good point. So you guys, just let me know if you have any questions. You can feel free to type them below. But investment and investing in your business should always be something that's it's just a business expense. You're never going to have no expenses. You're always investing in something, And if you want to have a conversation about how we can help, I can help you take your business to the next level, because maybe you just want to step more into that CEO role. And to start, how do I delegate more? What do I delegate? How do I add another zero to my, we're all doing taxes right now. And maybe your goal is I want to add an extra zero this year. I want to add, I want to go from 4 to 5 figures or 4 to 6 figures this year. Please feel free to just dropping the link right here. You can book a call with me because I have a new program that's coming out, and I'm accepting a couple of the perfect people for that. But you'll have to book a call with me in order for us to learn more, and for me to learn more about your business and the goals and dreams that you have for it. You guys have a great week. I will talk to you soon. I will talk to you next Monday, and I will be still down here in West Palm Beach.